G'day everyone, Saxon here. I'm just at the Africa Centre for Holistic Management, the Dimbangombe Ranch in Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe. And I just wanted to have a quick look at an example of animal impact and how it can help the environment. Now, here in Zim, we are in what we call a brittle environment, which is an environment that has humidity spread throughout the years. So we have periods of humidity and then periods of non-humidity. Now, what happens in these environments if we rest them too long is we start to get bare ground and bare soil. The results thereof are that when the rain falls, the raindrops will hit the ground and they'll compact, causing capping. Now, this capping over time gets harder and harder and forms a thick layer. Now, what eventually happens is that the rain that does fall after this becomes non-effective. So that means when it falls down, it's going to do one of two things. It's either going to go slightly into the soil, and then the next day it's going to evaporate outwards, or more likely, it's going to hit the ground and run off as flooding. Now, why is this important with animal impact? Well, because animals are, particularly ungulates like cattle, sheep, goats, are particularly useful in this environment to break the soil capping. Now, there's a paradigm that a lot of people think about that, oh, animals, they break up the soil and they're bad for it and they destroy the environment, when really this is actually their purpose. Because in these rested environments, if we don't use animal impact to break up that soil, what's going to happen is, like I've said before, your rain is going to become ineffective. Now, let's have a quick look at this soil capping. Here we can see a good example of soil capping. Okay, so what's happened is the raindrops have hit this over and over again and has made it really hard. Okay, there is harder, but this is still good enough for this particular example. Now, when the rain does fall, it'll fall into these little cracks, a small amount, but most of it will evaporate outwards again. Okay, so what happens when the animals come through is what we see here. This is what happened the other day when the herd was going through. As we can see, the hooves have come down and they've broken all of this. We can see that now the soil has returned to a granular form so that when the rains do come next, they can go straight down into the soil and be absorbed. So those seeds that are there, that seed bank that is waiting there, can actually use that rainfall because it is effective. A lot of people think that you have to have more and more rain, but often what you'll see is that in most places, once you get the rain, people celebrate and they go, oh, you beauty, we've got rain. But then the next day it's a drought again. Why? Well, because it's not effective. Even if you get less rain, you just got to make sure the bits that you do get actually go into the soil. And here we can see the scope of what can happen. Now, a few animals passed through here the other day on the way to the yards, so they were all excited and they were moving. And you can see where the hoof marks are, breaking up all that soil. Now, obviously there's bits to go, but this is a fantastic start. And what this will do is in all these areas, all the seeds here, all that seed bank will start to come up in the next rain. Now that we haven't had a rain since this event, so I'll be coming back through here, probably most days. So I'll keep an eye on this spot and see if we can give you an update on how this particular spot looks, but it looks better than what it was. See, hard capping and then broken ground. And that's really what we want, that granular soil, soon to be soil. Anyway, thanks guys.